Hello, my name is Topher Fitzpatrick, and I'm doing the 2026 70.3 Ironman in Galveston, Texas this year for St. Jude. This triathlon, it's just way more than a race. You know, anybody can go swim, anybody can go bike, anybody can go run, but really trying to raise money for kids with cancer, it really puts a whole different perspective on this type of event. I remember coming to Harvard College and just so happy that I was swimming on a sports team, and I thought this was going to be like the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. But I didn't expect my journey to be as crazy as it was. It was around 2023, my freshman year. You know, was in morning lift, and I started to feel a little dizzy. So I laid down and everything, and then I just thought, you know what, I'm just being a big wuss right now. I'm just complaining about the workout. Let me go back to the workout. I went back to the workout. Did not feel any better. Did not at all. I just remember it was my heart felt like it was beating out my chest. It was going boom, 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 and I was like, this is not normal. This feels weird. And every hour, it just got worse and worse to the point that every minute just felt like it was just the room was spinning and everything. Got to Fox Hospital, you know, I understand they thought I was some normal college kid, so they ran me through every drug test in the book. They took every test, every blood draw, every hair poke, but after all that, they're like, but we do have some bad news. We don't know what's going on with you, so we're going to send you to Albany Med. And I remember just it getting progressively worse throughout the night, and I remember I had to, you know, they had to go and shock me with the big shockers, and I do little chest compressions and everything, and it got scary. It got scary for a little bit, and I remember they said when I woke up, they're like, "Sir, you were legally dead." And hearing that, I was like, okay. I didn't know how to react, but I remember them talking about the surgery, them talking about everything. The one thing that came to me is, am I ever going to swim again? It wasn't even if I'm going to live in that moment. Most people, it's, am I going to live? Am I going to, you know, make it? I didn't have that. It's, am I going to swim and make it to conference? Because conference was coming up. Now, there was no way I was making it to conference by that point. I was not going to the championship meet. I was, you know, no way in shape, you know. But I just remember them telling me the surgery and everything. I was not listening to them. And I remember, like, are you listening to us? Or are you listening? I was like, yeah, but I wasn't. And then I started just weirdly thinking about, you know, Tyler and everything and sort of his journey. After I made it out and everything, I went and had my surgery. Surgery was successful. You know, not really big scars anywhere, just one little scar right there, just one little one right there if you can really see it. But that's what they put a thing called a loop recorder in. Had another surgery to make sure everything was good. And it was pretty scary. I didn't have my parents up here and everything for the incident. I remember coach called me and everything, called my parents. You know, he consoled my parents. He, you know, was real nice about, you know, everybody at the school, not just coach, but everybody here at Harvard College was real supportive of me when I came back, and they were really understanding of what happened. And throughout the days, and even when I had to go back in the hospital because then I got a stomach infection, I was in there for like 2 weeks, and I just remember keep thinking that, am I ever going to go back to swim? Am I ever going to get that shot and opportunity? I just remember keep thinking, well, Tyler did it. How did he do it? But you know, it's like everybody has a different story. Everybody has a different journey. And I remember that stuck with me when he was saying that to me. And really, he was there when I got back in the pool. I remember like 2 months later, I got back in the pool, and it was the scariest swim I ever went for. I don't think I made it even across the pool when I first got in. I was so scared to like hold my breath underneath the water that I've done hundreds of times, and it was just scary because when your breath is taken away from you, you worry, even though it's, you know, you've done that thing hundreds of times. You worry about it. You get scared because you don't want that incident to happen again. Even though I knew it wasn't going to, I still was. And I remember he was very supportive. My captains at the time, Sam, Reed, Dawson, Coach Lou, Coach Ellie, Coach Dale, you know, they were really telling me, like, you know, you got it, you're okay. Coach Dale, right, in certain workouts. Mikey, who would be my captain later on, helped me out, you know, just talking to me about, you know, everything's okay and just take one step at a time. And I remember just every day it was just taking one step at a time. Going back home, you know, I wasn't supposed to work at Jones Beach. I'm a Jones Beach lifeguard. It's an ocean lifeguard job on Long Island. Love working the beach. I just remember falling in love at the beach. You know, the waves, the surfing, saving people, randomly getting yelled at by people. I don't know why. I just loved working at the spot and everything. Really went back. My goal at the time was to train for that, to train to get back to the beach. I did. They helped me out. I did phenomenal going back. I did get hurt over summer, but I just remember even coming back from that little injury and just doing Dale's 5K run when I came back, doing, you know, coming back into running, and running is something I didn't do before. Swimming, you know, I wasn't on track beforehand, and I remember coming back and not being scared to try new things. I told myself, you know what, if I can get back in the water after this horrible instance and really work my tail off, I could definitely do anything. And really got to work hard in a different set of fields. You know, I think everybody should try something that's out of their comfort zone. I think everyone should try something that really gets you out of your element. I did an open water swim with Mikey. I trained for that. You know, the Lake George swim, got third place in my age group. You know, really trained real hard for the mile and the 4 a.m., which I made 8 finals in, which I did not expect to at conference, to make the highest one you could at conference, and just really just felt happy. I just want to cross the finish line and raise some money for some kids. That's all I want to do. Just want to cross the finish line and show people that you can definitely come back from horrible things like I did and just thrive. You know, I've never done an Ironman or a Half Ironman. This will be my first ever Half Ironman. And definitely coming off swim season, I will admit, I already feel I'm pretty tired from swim season, you know. Come out that championship, but we're still in the gym, putting in work, we're still running, we're still biking, and this is just so much for a bigger cause. This is just for St. Jude, and really gotten to learn St. Jude when I joined TEAC. Really got to learn a lot about St. Jude when I took the position as philanthropy chair. Philanthropy chair is someone that raises money, you know, for the fraternity, but also we raise money for St. Jude. That is our big mission. TEAC's mission is to really, you know, a better man for a better world, and really also raising money for St. Jude, and really just not raising money for it, because anybody can raise money for an organization, but we show our kids that are coming in the value of helping these kids out. You know, we have one of our guys, Nicholas Cotis. He went to the St. Jude Hospital over the summer and got to see everything, where the money's going to, where, you know, how they help the kids out, and how throughout the years TEAC got to, you know, make this possible for the kids. You know, the main goal for this race is, I'm just a guy running, swimming, biking the race and everything. I'm just a guy doing it. You know, the biggest thing is you could be a big factor in this race too. Donating the money, even if it's just like a few bucks, like $1, that puts, you know, that really does help out a kid with cancer, and it really does help the families. If we raise money and we help these children out and help these kids out, if we could just get one kid, of course we want more, but one kid cancer-free, that's a big goal. Again, I'm just a body running the race. I'm just a body swimming, biking, running the race. But you could be the helping factor, donating the money. And it doesn't have to be a lot, but you donating the money to this cause really helps out a lot of people, really helps out a lot of families. You know, I really strongly for everyone to consider donate money to this, because this race is just not a race. It's a lot bigger than a race. The medal doesn't count. The training I did, the everything, what we're doing right now for the video, it's just reaching out to you to say, help us out with this. Help us defeat childhood cancer one step at a time, and help raise money for these children.